What's going on, everybody? We're back to you for another edition of Chamber Chat, and we're excited to continue to roll through here through these uncertain times, but we're continuing to learn of positive stories and love checking in with our members. And we're joined today from Shentel, both the residential and the commercial side with Shentel Business, Vice President of Commercial Services, Craig Venable. Craig, great to see you. Haven't got to meet you in person yet, but good to see you. How's everybody doing with your family first and foremost, and then employees with Shentel in the midst of all this?
Sure. Hey, great to be here this morning, Eric. So thanks for having me. On behalf of Shentel Business and Shentel as a whole, certainly glad to be talking to you all. Family's doing great. Thanks for asking. Like everybody else out there, I have several kids, and mine happen to be older, so we're all bumping into each other, but no worse for wear. So thanks for asking. I hope you all are doing well also. As far as Shentel goes, certainly we, like a lot of businesses, are working through the challenges that we have and have put a number of things in place that we can talk about this morning that have enabled us to be flexible and adaptable, much as our business customers have had to be through this entire ordeal.
Great. No, I'm glad to hear everybody's health and safe. That's first and foremost the most important thing. And glad to hear, just like all of us, we're all, even more so now. Now we kind of have a little bit of this under our belts as far as how this has gone, and we're all able to adapt, evolve, and overcome. So I'm glad to hear that. So Shentel, to the folks in the Roanoke region, the Roanoke community, can be considered a new name. So give everybody a quick insight on who Shentel is, and kind of two-part question: what brought you to the Roanoke area in the Roanoke region?
Sure. No, great question, and you're right. We maybe are not a household name. So a quick backstory on Shentel is we've actually been in business for over 115 years, founded up in the Shenandoah Valley in Shenandoah County, just north of Harrisonburg. And so we're a telecommunications provider, started out as a small telephone company, and we've grown since then, where Shentel provides services in Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Western Maryland, on a number of different fronts. We have a big residential footprint. A lot of people in the greater Roanoke area may know us as the cable company. We are the cable company in Radford and Franklin County, Bedford County, all around the metro area, but we've never really had the services within the city of Roanoke. So a couple of years we had the opportunity to build out our commercial fiber backbone. So Shentel has a 6,000 mile plus fiber network, of which we provide services both to residential customers and businesses alike. And we really leverage that for all those services. So in 2017, the Roanoke City School System was looking for a significant upgrade to their network, right? So you see a lot of the kids today with Chromebooks and other means, and really a lot of video content that's coming into the classrooms. And so they really needed to upgrade and get a more robust system in there. We took the opportunity to say, you know what, Roanoke is a market that we want to be in from a commercial perspective. And we were able to do an agreement with the school system that enabled us to build out to all the schools in the city of Roanoke. And the neat thing about that is that we put down about 40 miles of fiber throughout the city. We passed over 2,000 businesses with our fiber, what we call near net. So they're very close to our network where it's easy for us to drop service into these businesses. And we have that in place today. And one of the things that we saw when we made the decision to do that is there was a lot of communication and a lot of press about the fact that Roanoke needed more opportunities for internet and other communication services, that Roanoke was too big to be small for federal help, but not big enough to get the attention of a lot of the big companies. And so we saw it as an opportunity to step in and provide businesses in the Roanoke market another option in addition to a couple that they have today to get their commercial internet and network services. And that's where we started out not too long ago. So as you mentioned, the name is not a household name. We don't do a lot of advertising. You're not going to see us on billboards and on TV and all that. But what we really try and do is work with organizations like the Chamber and other groups to get the word out to make sure that folks know that we are an option there. And we have certainly dedicated account teams working in the region that are working with businesses every day.
Yeah, no, that's a great synopsis, and thank you. As I mentioned to you, I was new to the area, new to the region, and new to the state back when I came here back in October, and so grateful for your support of the chamber, and just again the even before all this, the different forward-thinking ways that you all were coming and entering the region through the partnership with the school system and the city, and just the different things that you were kind of setting the laying the ground for to how you were going to grow and develop in the region. So we appreciate that for sure. And now let's talk a little bit from the COVID standpoint. Talk about how this has affected maybe some of the growth you've looked to develop, and just some of the changes you've had to make across across your network in regards to this pandemic.
Yeah, it's definitely like everybody else out there. We have had to look at everything we do with the two biggest priorities being how do we take care of our current customers, make sure that they have no service interruptions at this very critical time where businesses more than ever are, insistent that they have reliable connectivity. And then how do we also make sure that we take care of our employees who are out there on the front lines, making sure that they feel safe to do their work. So we've had to do a couple of things. What's, priority wise for our existing customers, all of our personnel, we have our 24/7/365 network operations center up in the Shenandoah Valley in Edinburgh, making sure that that's staffed and that everybody's comfortable. We have redundant, facilities to make sure that we handle our current customers with no outages. Mm-hmm. And then for new customers, we have customers, some of which, because of this situation, have put off some of the decisions to make big changes to their network. And that's fine. And so we're working with them. And others, it's become even more urgent. We've got to get, oh my gosh, we have so much demand. Now we have employees working remote, or maybe we're a doctor's office where we need to do more video conferencing and telemed with our patients out there. So we need more bandwidth. Those kinds of things are coming up. And guys, how fast can you get it to us? Right? We're experiencing a problem right now. So we're trying to prioritize those types of things with the new customers that we're working with. And then once we start doing that, we have to make sure we work with the customers and with our teams to, figure out the best way to service them. So are we sending our crews out maybe after business hours so that it minimizes the exposure of our technicians to people either in an office or in whatever form that the services are being installed, so to protect our folks going out and to protect the folks that we're installing the services for. And the service suite, Eric, is really across the board, right? So from a commercial perspective, we're putting fiber into these businesses. And a lot of businesses will have, cable service or what we'll call asymmetric service. So they'll buy 100 meg or 50 meg of internet service, but it may be 100 meg down and for browsing and things, but only a certain amount of bandwidth up. So if you're trying to push out files like radiology files or things like that, or trying to do video conference calls like a doctor's office might do, sometimes that doesn't work too well. What we're putting in is a more robust commercial service with symmetrical fiber up to 10 gigs, and you can layer everything on top of that. VoIP, trunking, PRIs, video in some cases, depending upon where it's located, unified communications, managed services, firewalls, the full product suite. Once we get fiber into facility, then it opens up a lot of different options for our customers. So we're really trying hard to make sure that we're trying to get these, fiber facilities into these customers that right now, especially so greatly demand them in order to keep their business going until we can get through the situation.
Sure. No, and that's appreciate the transparent and honest perspective on again how you're all being forward thinking on this whole process. It's just I'm sitting here listening to you, and it's like, wow, just the resiliency and the strength of the companies in this region is just continuing to shine through. And we're all so grateful to hear that. So for folks to learn more, you obviously have a residential and a business side. So we have Shentel.com as well as ShentelBusiness.com for folks to learn more, between yourself and the crew here in the region and the state. Tons of options, tons of opportunities, and just tons of strength. You have behind you Shentel Business Fiber Strong, and I think that's exactly right. Just the strength of your guys' business as far as it relates to this goes a long way. So Craig, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate the insight and the learning and the positiveness and all the great things you guys are doing. We'll look forward to seeing you in person soon. and it'd be great to discuss more about what you're doing to grow here in the Roanoke region. So thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Sounds great. I had a wonderful time. Great sharing our story, and best wishes to you and everyone there in the region. So we're here to help in any way possible.
We appreciate that. Thank you. That wraps up another edition of Chamber Chat. We're going to keep them rolling, as we keep saying. Take care and continue to be safe, healthy, and smart.